Well, those last two videos are pretty tough. Good job on the fireplaces and good job on the stairs. We have one more additional task left, and that is the porch. I'm going to draw this one here in full detail with you. It is a little bit more difficult, so I'm going to show you every step of the way. The very first thing I would do is go turn off my layer of my A anno dims. I don't want to have that be confusing me with what's going on around this building. We're going to be using two layers that we already have, A wall and A floor vert. The columns go in A wall. The outside lines of our porch go in A wall. And then the handrail, what you would grab so you don't fall off the porch, is in our A floor vert, as well as our stairs and our steps. So what we're going to do first is draw the columns. So I'd go to A wall. And I'm going to draw myself a 12 by 12 rectangle. I'm just going to start one up here. I'm going to type in 12 tab 12 and hit enter. This rectangle up in the top northeast corner is going to be centered right on the endpoint of this wall. I don't want to just randomly move it though. I'm going to draw myself a little temporary line that I can take my rectangle and move it by that midpoint. I'm going to turn on my midpoint snap here. By that midpoint and go to the endpoint of that wall. That puts this one directly centered. I'm going to have 6 inches left, right, up, and down from this corner. Now, my column to the right of that is 8 feet over to the right based on its center, which means I can really just copy this thing over to the right exactly 8 feet. Now, working my way down this east side, it says 8, 8, 3, 6, 3, 8, 8, 8. I'm just going to copy those distances. I'm going to copy down, and I'm just going to type in these values. 8 feet. The next one is another 8 feet, so 16 feet. The next one's 3 more, so 19 feet. Then we're going to go 6 more, so that's 25 feet. Another 3 is 28 feet. 28 plus 8 is going to be 36 feet. We're going to then go another 8 feet. So we're looking at 42 feet. And then, oh gosh, what's 42 plus 8? Another 50 feet. And then we'll hit escape. Now it looks like I did a little bit of bad math here. I need to move these ones down. I probably was off by 2 feet. So let's move those things down by 2 feet. Yeah, that's it. All right, so if you're doing your math with me, it should be 8 feet, 16 feet, 19 feet, 25 feet, 28 feet, 36. Then we're going to go to 54. There we go. And then 60 feet total. All right, so go ahead and make those copies, and we'll work our way over here. Now, if everything worked out perfectly, we're going to be able to copy this one down here over to the left a couple times 8 feet, and it should land exactly on this corner. If that doesn't happen, start it over. I know I made a mistake right here in my math, but I don't want to restart the video. All right, so we're going to copy this thing over 8 feet, and then I'm going to type in 16 feet, 24 feet, 32 feet, 40 feet. When I get to the 40-foot one, then it goes 2, 4, and 2. So it's going to be 42 feet, 46 feet, 48 feet, and then that last one should be 56 feet. And it should, if we're right, pop right up on this corner. I'm going to check that by drawing in a reference line from endpoint to endpoint and see if it hits right on that midpoint, which it does. So our math was correct. All right, those are the beginnings of our columns. We have 4 more columns that we need to create. 2 down here for the stairs. If we look at them, they say that they are 3 feet 6 inches from top edge to top edge of these columns. So I'm just going to copy those down, 3 feet 6. And then it's the same thing over here in front of our foyer with these 2 inner columns. I'm going to copy them to the right, 3 feet 6. Now still in the AWOL layer, it wants me to trace the outside edge. But before I do so, I want to clean up my first and my last column. I'm just going to go on in there and trim inside my wall. My column is just going to stick out of that house. Same thing over here. I got a few more trims to do. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now I'm going to just trace, like I said, with the line tool. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start on this inside corner and trace over to my stairs, down around the outside. I know I'm overlapping lines. We're not really going to be able to tell. It's bad practice, but I don't want to hit escape a few times. And again, we're just going to trim all the way to this top edge. So here's the perimeter of our porch. And now we have our couple stairs that we need to add in place. And then last but not least, we need to add in our handrail. So I'm going to go to A-floor vert for my stairs. And I'm going to draw in my stair lines. They're going to start, oh, I see a mistake. This line here should be at the top of our columns. So let's go ahead and move that one on up. There we go. Same thing over here. These should be at the tops of our columns, or the inside edge. All right. What we're going to do now is draw in some A-floor vert lines. I'll start up on this one. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start with my endpoint here, and I'm going to move my mouse over to the left, and I want to type in 10. Each stair step is going to be 10 inches in length. I could then copy this one, or I could offset it by 10 inches as well. But I want these two vertical lines here. We're going to do the same thing on this edge. So I'm going to start the line tool, start it here, move up, type in 10. Now I can bring over my A-floor vert, and this one here I'll offset it up by 10. I could have offset this line here by 10 2 times and then just changed the layer. Probably would have been better practice. All right, now for our handrails. I'll start up on this one up here. Our handrails, it doesn't tell us the size. So again, anytime we don't know a value, we just want to draw to the best of our ability. Take your hand right now and imagine like you're grabbing a handrail. Just put your hand out. If you look at it, that big C that you have on the handrail, it's probably like, what, 2.5 inches wide? So why don't we just use that value? I'm going to draw a line in the center from the midpoint to midpoint first. That'll give me the reference of where I'm going to start. And now if my handrail is 2.5 inches wide total, that means I want to go up 1.25 inches each way, or up and down. So I'm going to offset this line here up 1.25, and then this line here down 1.25. I'm going to delete that middle line. Now I don't want to do that all of these times over and over and over again. I'm going to take these two and I'm going to copy from, say, the bottom right endpoint of this left column, and I'm going to copy it to the bottom right endpoint of that column, and that one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and even this one here. I'll trim those out later. And then this one. In fact, let's trim them out now. That way I don't forget. Right, now I need to do that for my vertical ones, but that's fine. That's totally okay with me. So let's go ahead again. We'll draw a line. Start it out midpoint to midpoint. And then we're going to offset that line by 1.25 each way. And then we'll delete that center reference line. I'm going to again copy this one. It doesn't matter. This time I'll go top right endpoint. Right, but as long as I keep using the same endpoint for my blocks or for my columns, then they'll go in the correct places. And this one here is kind of funky. They stick out a little bit. I'm just going to shorten them up. That way I don't have to worry about trimming the proper one. This one here I will trim. All right, now I have two more sets of handrails I need to create. Those are for the stairs. Those ones here, I'll start out with a copy. So since these ones are going left and right, I'll copy down to here and down to there. When I do my trim, I want to trim those out. And last but not least, if I'm looking from the sky down through a handrail, I won't be able to see my steps. So I want to trim out my steps between the handrail itself. Right, we'll do the same thing over here for these steps. Let's go ahead, we'll just copy one of these sets. It doesn't matter which one. Wherever you copy it from, make sure you just choose the same exact endpoint for your placement, and it'll go in the right spot. And again, trim your steps inside of your handrails so you can't see them. All right, if I turn back on my dimensions are currently inside of my porch, and that's fine. Down here, they're kind of intersecting, but not really. If I was being super picky, I'd move them, but for now, we're just gonna leave them. All right, don't forget to save. You did quite a bit of work this week. Good job.